Hey everybody, in this video we are going to take a look at the Bevel Modifier, which can help you round out edges. So a lot of things in the world don't leave their edges all sharp and 90-degree cornered. They're nicely rounded out. Okay, the iPhone and cell phones, beautiful example. Most tables, TVs, all those kind of objects. They never leave a sharp corner. They have a little bit of rounding. Here's how you can apply that yourself in your model. So first thing is we have our model here. All right, nice simple model. Okay, I'm going to round out a couple of the edges. So you go to the modifier, you go add modifier, and there's bevel right there. So I hit bevel, and you can see right away it's already done it to every single edge in the model. It can say the width of it, so you can decide how much or how little. You can see how many segments. You add a couple more segments for it to be more rounded, right? A few less segments for it to be less rounded. But you get the idea, right? You don't want to create too many edges and vertices in your model, so find a nice balance there. Profile tells you whether it should be really sharp, or if you go the other way, it'll actually sort of anti-bevel. So that's like crown molding, or I don't know what that's called, but it is what it is. And yeah, so you sort of find your levels there. Okay, that's pretty good. Now that does every single edge in your model. When you're finished, if you're happy with it, you can hit apply, and that now is your mesh. I'd recommend not hitting apply because then it leaves your mesh more simple. Like when I hit the tab key and go into edit mode, my model's still a nice simple model. But watch what happens if you hit apply. Now you go into edit mode. That's now your mesh. A lot harder to work with, right? So be careful when you hit apply. Okay, I'm going to go back. Whoa. I'm going to go back into object mode here. Now, I've sort of canceled out my modifier. Want to show you doing the modifier, but just on select edges. So let's say just this edge and this edge, right? Not all of them. So here we go. The first thing you want to do to apply this, let's go back to the bevel, and let's get a couple of segments going. And let's get a sort of a thick bevel. That's not bad. Okay. Not bad. Okay. But it's doing everything. Here's how you get it just to act on limited amounts. Limit method, vertex group. A vertex group is basically a group of vertices, edges and stuff, that you select. And so I can say just apply it to these ones. So let's go for it. I'm in edit mode right now. I'm going to go for selecting edges, and I'm going to select this edge, hold the shift key, select that edge. Okay, so those are my two edges. I need to turn those into a vertex group. So what I do is I go to my data tab of the object. Hey, there was UV maps. Well, guess what? Above it, vertex groups. Let's create a new one. This one's called group. I'm going to double click it to rename it. I'm going to call it two front edges. And just like with your materials, you assign. So I've got two selected right now. Assign these two to that group. If I deselect, unselect it. With this group highlighted, I select. It shows me those are the ones. Okay, so that group was called two front edges. Perfect. Back to the modifier. Let's go vertex group. It says, what vertex group do you want me to apply this to? Two front edges. And notice what happens now is we're only applying it to those two front edges. And it doesn't look too bad. Okay, and so that's how you limit the selection. Okay, and I would just leave that on. I wouldn't apply it yet. I'll just sort of leave it there. You can always go back and edit it if you want to. Okay, so that's rounding out edges. Pretty good.